Hi, I'm Corey Chambers in Los Angeles. Your home sold guaranteed or I'll buy it. In a moment, I'll be sharing with you some valuable information about, on the LA Loft blog, Los Angeles prepares for the recession. Downtown LA gets ready for tough times. We'll gladly send you more details about any of these properties or arrange for a private tour upon request. If you have a home you'd like to sell, then you should know that I will guarantee the sale of your present home at a price acceptable to you, or I'll buy it for cash. This guarantee will allow you to buy your next home without worrying about selling your present home. To find out how much you could sell your home for, call me at 213-880-9910 now. So let's take a look first at this property. This is a two-story, 1,700 square foot live-work loft at Alta Lofts in Los Angeles. And so this is probably the lowest price per square foot on a cool, very cool, hip, very chic, industrial style loft in Los Angeles, 1,700 square foot. So take a look on the LA Loft blog. You can click on it and you can get more details about that loft that's for sale. So because a very large number of people in downtown and greater Los Angeles area, and nationwide for that matter, worldwide, are expecting and preparing themselves for the recession that will be under tremendous Fed influence, we will see two unexpected effects. Number one, the recession will be big, but will be delayed. Number two, the recession will be longer and more shallow. By the way, these are predictions, and we do not say that these predictions are 100% true. They're not 100% accurate. However, if you do look at our previous predictions since 2011, we've been pretty much spot on. Predicting things is easier than doing other things, like predicting something and then allocating the correct capital to it is sometimes a different story. However, Corey Chambers, I did predict that lofts in Los Angeles would be almost as close as you could get to free in 2011, and I did put my money where my mouth was and bought a loft in 2012 that has gained hundreds of thousands of dollars of equity, and I helped many, many clients, buyers to do the same. Now, I am sending out more of a warning that things have flipped. We are at the beginning or the precipice of a recession. However, there is no way of knowing if the recession will be starting tomorrow. I tend to say that it has, in some respects, already started. So let's go ahead and get into finish talking about what's in the LA Loft blog article about this recession and how people are preparing for it. The next recession, the first signs of which have already appeared, will be quite different from our 2008 recession, because the U.S. federal government is mimicking the extreme central banking interference that has already been tested by Japan and Europe. Our next recession is likely to be long and very slowly drawn out, something reminiscent of the lost decade, which should be called lost decades, of Japan and the permanently pathetic slow growth of Europe. Rather than one huge stock market crash, this recession is likely to go more sideways, with more numerous smaller crashes that are punctuated by unexciting upticks. That's a sideways market that I'm describing. The cooling that we've seen in the downtown and LA real estate markets over the last year or more are signs of the coming recession, and they are also steps that Angelinos have taken to reduce negative effects while preserving capital for hard times and for taking advantage of future low prices. Part of that is that some of the next recession is already sort of being mitigated by the cooling that we've seen as well. What LA residents and investors may be ready for is the painfully... I made a mistake here that I have to fix. Be ready should say what LA residents and investors may not be ready for is the painfully slow duration of the next recession. Because the Fed has made it abundantly clear that they will interfere to more extreme extents, including near zero interest rates, that will encourage potentially eventual negative interest rates. Markets will not be allowed to crash freely at any time soon, and thus will not be allowed to shake free the extreme inefficiencies caused by the extreme Fed bubble that affects all real estate, including DTLA. Now, this might sound a little bit political, but this is purely economics that we're talking about here. So Forbes recently reported on ways that financial industry influencers suggest to prepare for the recession. The article points out that the abundant talk in the U.S. about an inevitable recession. History shows that recurrent recessions are indeed inevitable, meaning they will happen, they will not stop. They vary and cannot be predicted. We only know that they come about every 6 years. Now, that includes some double recessions, so if you sort of remove the double recessions, it's a bit closer to 7 to 10 years that these recessions should be expected. And it's already been more than 10 years since the last. A delayed recession creates more pressure for a larger, more serious financial crisis, or what the LA Loft blog expects, a protracted economic funk. So that's the style of downturn that the LA Loft blog staff is expecting. That does not mean that we say it's going to happen for sure. Nobody can predict that. We can only say, what the numbers and what the behavior of people and the government has been up to. The LA Loft blog is privy to one thing that other people are not privy to. We receive more calls, up to 100 a day, from people who ask about properties, and virtually 100% of buyers say that they have some interest. However, they actually have no plans in the immediate future to buy a property. A global economic growth malaise has already been happening for several years. Buyers. While most considering buying a property have put plans on hold, a few are already taking advantage of the shifting market by placing several lowball offers to find that one desperate seller who will give the great deal. Sellers. Homeowners who don't have a large reserve of cash and who don't have much equity will consider selling early. Flippers. Flip investors have begun to exit the Los Angeles market as their margins tighten. Flippers just must make their purchases, renovations, and sales faster in days instead of months in order to beat a sudden crash. Real estate agents. With fewer buyers and sellers in the marketplace, there's growing competition to acquire clients. Real estate agents have to spend more marketing dollars to attract them. As the LA Loft blog has reported before, prices have come down about 2% over the last year and a half. Also, real estate agents and everyone else needs to know that there's only about 25% as many transactions happening now as there were a couple years ago. In other words, the overall real estate market in terms of number of condos that are being sold around near downtown Los Angeles is only 1/4 of what it was. It's gone down 75%. So that means that there's 75% roughly only about there's 75% less money to go around for the 100 or so plus real estate agents, downtown loft specialists, real estate professionals. Forbes says that the answer is to become a cash investor in order to take advantage of the growing number of motivated sellers and to dominate the market for the best deals. To build cash, consider selling some current assets, raise capital from investors, and build more relationships with more lenders early. So that's a combination of information and suggestions from Forbes as well as the LA Loft blog, and they are sort of melded together in this post called the Los Angeles Prepares for the Recession. That's in the LA Loft blog. Take a look at it. And thanks for taking a look and listen to this description of the article today and the review of the article. For the Alta Loft and any other properties that you're interested in, a property packet or private tour, information packet or private tour is available upon request. Call me at 213-880-9910. And thanks for listening in. I'm Corey Chambers in Los Angeles. Your home sold guaranteed or I'll buy it. Thanks again. You take care. Bye-bye.